In a peaceful little village, where lush green fields stretched to the horizon, there lived a boy named Raj. Raj was once a dreamy and passionate child, but something seemed to be holding him back. Whenever he sat down to study, his mind would drift elsewhere, sometimes imagining adventures, other times pondering a vague future. He tried to read books, but after just a few lines, his eyes grew heavy. He wanted to achieve something great, but couldn't maintain focus long enough to complete anything. Raj began to feel disheartened, as if an invisible veil was clouding his mind. Repeated failures eroded his self-confidence. Despite encouragement from friends and family, Raj felt alone in his unseen internal struggle. He wondered, am I not good enough? Why can't I be like others, calm, focused, and effective? The disappointment grew each day, quietly yet heavily, like an unending gray rain. This marked the beginning of his journey to confront his own mind. One sweltering summer afternoon, Raj wandered along the dirt road leading out of the village until he stopped beneath an ancient Bodhi tree, where people often spoke of a mysterious old man who lived in seclusion, appearing only when needed. That day, as if orchestrated by the universe, Raj met him. The man was elderly, with white hair and beard, and eyes as deep as if they had witnessed countless lifetimes. Though they had never met, he seemed to know why Raj had come. Without many words, he smiled and gently gestured for Raj to sit beside him. Raj hesitantly spoke. "Sir, I don't understand why I always feel like a failure. My mind keeps drifting, never staying still. I want to focus, to become skilled. But the more I try, the more chaotic everything becomes." The old man closed his eyes, pondered for a moment, then softly asked, "Have you ever tried sitting still just to listen to yourself?" Raj shook his head. "I'm afraid of silence. It makes me feel empty." He opened his eyes, looking deeply into Raj's. In that emptiness, true strength begins to form. To control your mind, you must dare to face its silence. "Long ago," he began in a warm voice, "there was a young man named Arjun. He wasn't the strongest or the fastest, but he had something different, a determination to master himself." Raj leaned forward, captivated by every word. Arjun's teacher master Archer presented a strange challenge. In front of many students, he hung a wooden bird on a tree branch and asked each to shoot its eye. When he asked the first student what he saw, the student replied, "The bird, the branch, the sky." The next gave a similar answer. But when Arjun was asked, he simply said, "I see the bird's eye." Still absorbed in the story, Raj listened as Guruji gently spoke, as if to emphasize the lesson. "You see," he said, "most people see too much. They're distracted by everything around them. The voices of others, the fear of failure, the desire to win. But Arjun was different. When he drew his bow, the world vanished. No trees, no sky, nothing but the bird's eye. That focus was his greatest weapon." Raj swallowed hard, feeling a strange stir within. He had never thought that simplicity focusing on a single point could hold such power. Guruji continued, slowly and with authority, "Your mind is like a bow. If you don't know how to aim it properly, the arrow will miss its target. You must learn to keep your mind steady amidst the storm, only then can you hit what you desire." From that day, Raj embarked on a new journey, not loud or glorious, but quiet and persistent, like a small stream flowing through rocks. Every morning before sunrise, he meditated under the Bodhi tree, closing his eyes, trying to keep his mind from wandering. At first, just a few minutes made him restless, his thoughts drifting into hundreds of worries, anxieties, trivial matters. But then, he would return to his breath. As Guruji advised, "Just come back. Don't be angry with yourself." Day by day, he began to feel the change. His thoughts became less chaotic. The silence, once frightening, now felt familiar like an old friend. Whenever his mind tried to escape the present, Raj would close his eyes, envisioning the bird's eye, a symbol of the singular goal to maintain. One afternoon, Guruji led Raj to the forest behind the hill where he had once spoken of Arjun and the wooden bird. On a high branch, a new wooden bird was hung, silently awaiting. Guruji handed the bough to Raj without a word. The boy drew the bough. His eyes locked onto the Targetno trees. No sounds, not even breath. Only one point existed in the universe: the bird's eye. Whoosh! The arrow sliced through the air like lightning and struck precisely in the center of the wooden bird's eye. A moment of silence enveloped them. Then Guruji's eyes gleamed with quiet pride. Raj didn't jump with joy, nor shout in triumph. He simply smiled, knowing that the true victory wasn't in the arrow, but in learning to keep his mind unwavering even for a single breath. You see, he said slowly, everything you've just accomplished isn't due to luck or magic. It's the result of every morning you meditated, every breath you guarded, every time you resisted impatience to return to the present. Raj was silent, his heart opening to a truth he had never touched before. No one is born with control over their mind. Guruji continued, but anyone can train to achieve it if they have enough patience and determination. You don't need to be like Arjun. You just need to become the best version of yourself. After the day he hit the bird's eye, Raj was no longer the anxious boy lost in vague thoughts. The change within him was quiet but profound, like a seed taking root and beginning to grow strong. He woke early each day, meditated in silence, then began studying with a calmness he had never known. The pages of books were no longer a battle against distraction. They became companions. In class, Raj no longer compared himself to others. He listened, remembered, and understood lessons with intense focus. Friends began to notice the change. His eyes shone, no longer confused. His voice was calm, no longer hurried. Teachers were amazed at his remarkable progress, not just in grades, but in his steadfast attitude. More importantly, Raj felt peace within his soul. The worries and insecurities that once made him run away no longer frightened him. He no longer tried to be perfect. He just focused bit by bit, living each moment fully. And that made all the difference. Raj not only studied better, he became himself, confidently and authentically. When Raj looked back on his journey, he realized the miracle didn't lie in any distant magic, but in daily choices, the choice to pause, breathe, and focus. He once thought he was a failure for not being able to control his mind, but now he understood that everyone gets lost sometimes. The difference lies in who dares to face and train. Guruji had taught him a lesson not found in books. The mind is like a wild land. If not tended, it will grow weeds. But if nurtured with patience, courage, and mindfulness, it will bloom. Raj's story isn't just his own. It's a reminder for anyone who has ever doubted themselves, ever been swept away by chaotic thoughts. No matter who you are, where you are, if you're willing to return to yourself with small daily practices, you can master your mind. And when you do, the whole world becomes as clear as the bird's eye in an archer's sight. If Raj's story has inspired you or offered a new perspective on focus and inner strength, don't forget to like the video to let me know you're with me. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss upcoming stories deep, meaningful journeys that might change how you see yourself. And if you think someone needs to hear this message, a friend, a loved one, or a colleague, please share the video with them. Thank you for taking the time to listen. See you in the next stories.